Hello everybody, it is Prodigy Queen again, and in this Prodigy video, a level 100 Ivory Trip Trap is going to be battling against a level 100 TripTrop. Now, before we begin this exciting video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss out on any awesome Prodigy videos. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So first of all, I would like to show you what I mean by exciting video. So this is one of my very popular requests that have come a lot of times in the comment section where people have asked requests. So this is very popular request. So I'm going to be making this video right now, and I'm really excited myself actually. Who will win? The Ivory Snow Queen TripTrop or Snow King TripTrop, or the breezy forest rainforest normal TripTrop? I don't actually know. I am pretty sure that since the normal TripTrop can use Volcano, and for some reason the Ivory TripTrop is a snow element pet or an ice element pet, but the Ivory Truckle is a plant element pet. I'm going to show you when I get over to the description side. Also, before I do so, make sure you guess where the pump cube is hiding this time. So this is it. This is the pump cube. I would also like to show you something interesting the pump cube can do. If you turn it to the side, it becomes a lot narrower and looks like a normal pumpkin without like a jack-o'-lantern face carved into it. That's pretty cool. And I hit it pretty well around the house this time. So be sure to pause the video right now and guess where it is. And at the end of the video, I'll be giving you some hints and revealing the hiding spot of this awesome sneaky cube. Alright, so let's get straight into it. So I'm going to go ahead and open the description page so I can show you what I mean by how an Ivory TripTrop is special, because it does not have the traits of an Ivory Truckle, and also we can see how the Ivory TripTrop and the TripTrop are alike and not alike or different from each other, and how much hearts they have, comparison, and how much power they have, and the stats, and all the things that will make them win and not win. I'm so excited. Let's go. Alright guys, so this is the page about the TripTrop. So the TripTrop, as you can see, is this tiny cute thing, and it is you must obviously, if you're like new to Prodigy and you haven't created an account yet, or you have an account in the very beginning of Prodigy, you have to battle a monster, and that monster is specifically a TripTrop. Now you may think TripTrops are found everywhere and take them for granted, but TripTrops are actually extremely powerful. Look at how much power they have and just a little bit heart. The plant element pet and evolves at level 24 into the Clip Clop. Let's look at the description now. So the sound of music in the forest usually indicates a TripTrop is nearby. They're nimble creatures and love a good challenge. Ooh, I think the TripTrop is me. I think TripTrop Time's brow is me. Okay, now this is the Clip Clop. It looks a lot similar to the TripTrop. It has the same furry, dark brown hides. And it has this tiny fluffy tail, some cute little horns, an adorable little face, and some leafy ears. And it's adorable with that tiny little snout. It looks kind of like a devil except with no wings. Okay guys, now let's go ahead and look at the description about the special Ivory TripTrop. Also, if you do really like the Ivory TripTrop battles, then be sure to check out Ivory TripTrop versus Ivory Truckle. So be sure to check that out after this video on my channel. So let's go ahead and now look at the Ivory TripTrop. Okay guys, so this is the Ivory TripTrop. Now, if you have looked at the Ivory Truckle before and you have it, or you've seen it before in description stats and stuff, you already must know that plant elements pets have a base that is green, and you might already notice that it's this weird whitish bluish color, and you will figure out why it is that in a second. It is special and Ivory. It is Ivory's special pet. So this is the same thing as the TripTrop, except it has a different fur color. It has like this kind of like a reindeer type, and it has outlined with some cute little furry things. And instead of horns, it has reindeer type things, or like I don't know what you call them, but they're really cute, tiny little stubs of reindeer. and reindeer horns, and it has this ear. It's like coated with the brownish elkish color, and it has these dark blue, what do you call them, claws? Yeah, the claws look pretty good, and they can hold things, give hugs, and it has a fluffy little mouth. Aww. And it has some orange warm amber eyes in the cold. In rare cases, a TripTrop is born with white fur instead of brown. These creatures are considered good luck as companions to wizards. Now here comes the astonishing part. This pet is an ice element pet. That's why its pedestal look like an ice. You must be wondering, why is this so appealing? It is because if you look at an ivory truckle, it is a plant element pet. Shouldn't it be ice element pet too? It looks exactly like the Ivory TripTrop, the same colors and stuff, but not like the same shape. So what's the difference actually? So I think the thing is that they made the Ivory TripTrop a little more special than the Ivory Truckle, because it's probably a lot more rarer to find than the Ivory Truckle. That's why it's an ice element pet. Alright guys, so I can't wait to get to the battle now. Let's go. So once again, I'm going to be keeping a TripTrop on my team. By the way, I just realized a TripTrop does more damage. I didn't know that before. Did you guys know that? If you look closely, jam them together, and you look at them, look at the bars, you can see that the TripTrop has more power, and the Ivory TripTrop has less power. Now let's go ahead and get to the battle. Woohoo! Okay guys, so now that I'm at this page, let's go ahead and start the battle. So there's going to be an exclamation mark sign over here anytime again, because she's going to click on me and the battle request should appear. Okay, so there it is. Let's accept the challenge. The battle between the vicious, snowy Ivory TripTrop versus the peaceful rainforest singing TripTrop has begun. Let's go. So she has an ice snake on her team. Yep, it is getting close to winter, so I understand that the wintry theme. She is wearing the Santa's hat, or Winterfest hat. Let's go ahead and start off with Forest Hurricane. Also guys, I thought TripTrop had Volcanon. It doesn't? Oh, strange. Okay, so I am done solving that question. So while we're waiting for Crystal to solve her question, let's go ahead and talk about a time a TripTrop and an Ivory TripTrop meet each other. So one time, when that happened, the TripTrop became all irritated that all its food and leaves got so freezing cold, and then he started to attack the Ivory TripTrop. Now the Ivory TripTrop naturally did not want to fight with its ancestor, so it just created an ice block around him, or ice shield around him, and fended off the TripTrop. Now the TripTrop, however, had a storm element spell with him, Iron Cannon, and with the help of the wizard, or he stole my wand actually, and he used the Iron Cannon spell from it, and he managed to get a little bit of the shield broken off the Ivory TripTrop. So okay, so now what happened is the Ivory TripTrop started to get warm, or he started to get a little angry, I want to say, but when Ivory TripTrops get angry, it's a disaster. But he was getting the tiniest bit angry. He didn't want to fight with his ancestor once again. So instead, what he did was he decided to just talk it out. But the TripTrop was too infuriated, because it's been a long time, and when a TripTrop does not get a nice food for a long time, a week, the food has been all frozen, because the Ivory TripTrop would raid the pantry at night and make everything cold, and that's the worst part actually. Okay guys, so now let's go ahead and wait for Crystal. So I want to actually tell you what happened next, but let's go ahead and keep waiting. So the Ivory TripTrop, so she attacked at the perfect time. So he did 4,524 damage. Let's see how much damage he does with Snowling Ball. 4,255 damage. Might end up in a draw. You never know. Okay, now I'm going to try and use Iron Cannon. So let me go ahead and solve this question. It's done. So now I would like to continue that story about this awesome pet battle. So what happened next was, since the Ivory TripTrop was getting a little weak because his ice shield was giant and it has a giant crack in the middle, so he decided to take down his shield, and instead he grabbed the TripTrop and choked him. I know it's funny, right? But instead of choking him and making him die, he put a giant ice cave around the TripTrop, and he put a tiny fire, a tiny bonfire, and the TripTrop burned through the. Unfortunately, the TripTrop, the Ivory TripTrop was not as smart as the TripTrop, and he didn't suspect that the TripTrop would be so smart to create the bonfire and break through the cage. He thought that the bonfire would only be for food. So the TripTrop escaped, and guess what happened next? The Ivory TripTrop began to find a place to hide. Can you believe an Ivory TripTrop finding a place to hide? These pets are very arrogant. They would take a fight if they could. But how could this be scared of a TripTrop? Because the TripTrop had my wand, he just realized, and he was gaining power. He hasn't casted spell in a long time, and the Ivory TripTrop was wasting his energy. So he cowered and fled, and his tail is giant. So you know why his tail is giant than the TripTrop? It is because he didn't want to lose his power, so he set his energy to his tail and whipped his tail into the TripTrop's face. Oh no! The TripTrop was temporarily blinded, and it hurt him a little bit, but that didn't stop him from keep on going and going. Okay guys, so what happened next is a mystery, and I will reveal that in the next spell. Right now, I would like to tell you a different story. I'll continue this one in the mysterious, most darkest times. So do you guys know what happened when fire and ice collides? Yep. You don't know that. You know that it doesn't end well. Okay, so also Embershed and Terrigan, I once did a battle, so you should check that out. That was a really fun DD rule battle, double dragon. So what is the double dragon rule once again? The double dragon rule is when you have two dragons battling against each other. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and wait now. And so this, I would really like to look inside the wand. It kind of looks like glass fire, I think it's from the academy or from Pumpkin Fest. Also guys, Pumpkin Fest is ending on Halloween, in the month of October. So guys, try to gather as much items as you can. I work very hard, and I try my best to get as many items as I can, do a lot of monster battles, and finding the pumpkin and lighting it. Whew. Okay, so also guys, let's go ahead and now we'll wait for the person to answer her question. I'm sorry, Crystal. Okay. So guys, one more story I'd like to tell you before we end is, okay, so TripTrop attacked. Okay, so we finally got to attack. Woohoo! What spell? Okay, Forest Hurricane. Oh no. He has more health. Apparently Forest Hurricane did a lot of damage to me. No. Can I use an item in the arena? It's quite unsportsmanlike. Hey, that's not fair. I can't use an epic attack either. Boo hoo hoo. Let's just go ahead and use Forest Hurricane as usual. It doesn't matter. We won't be able to save it for an area spell, whatever spell we choose. Alright guys, so I'm going to finally tell you that story that I've always been wanting to tell you about what happens when fire and ice collides. So one time, Terrigan and Ice Snake, that's actually a story that happened. It's very rare, an Ice Snake colliding with a very regal royal pet. That is mine, the queen's pet. So the Ice Snake was once, as an honor, was able to have a playdate with Terrigan. And Terrigan held his wings up regally and welcomed the Ice Snake in. Now the Ice Snake, you see, mainly is very sleepy and closes his eyes a lot. So what happened was he accidentally collided the teeniest bit until he realized the heat of the Terrigan scales. And the Terrigan obviously was a royal, and he was a spoiled dragon. I spoil him with treats. Woohoo. I seriously wish I hadn't spoiled him, because now if I don't give him his 3 giant fire casseroles, his Fury Flame bath, and his massage and all his things, then he will actually be able to set my wand on fire, and then I'll be a poor hopeless wizard. So that is his blackmailing to be able for me to not do his things to his honor. So now what I did was I made my wand fire resistance and damage resistance, so that Terrigan, one time he tried to burn the wand because I wouldn't do his things, and he failed. So now Terrigan has learned his lesson. Okay, so now Terrigan is still a bit spoiled, so he decided to push the Ice Snake back, and he pushed with a little force that was not intended. And guess what happened next? The Ice Snake became tiniest bit agitated and confused, and I'll continue the story in the next shot. Okay, so we did a lot of damage. We did 5,000 damage, and this Ivory Trip Trap, well, it did a good amount of damage too. So guys, overall, these two pets almost have the same amount of power and hearts, but if you are a power-thirsty pet, or if you're a heart-thirsty pet, go after the Ivory TripTrop. If you are a power-thirsty pet like me, go after the TripTrop. And the TripTrop, you guys, I totally agree. We probably think it's like all worthless and it's useless and stuff like that, but no, do not think that. This pet is actually pretty good. Okay guys, let's go ahead and now solve this question. It's gonna put the sign in. Woohoo, 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 woohoo. Okay guys, so also one more thing, I'm going to continue the story now. Now, the Ice Snake is not a pet that is very likely to get fiery and angry, but he did get a little confused in why the Terrigan had pushed him, so he decided to push Terrigan back. Now, obviously, Terrigan is a very agitated and arrogant pet, but he's nice towards me since I am his caretaker. So what he did was he pushed the Ice Snake. The Ice Snake accidentally pushed him back, thinking that there was like a wall somewhere, and he actually bounced off it. But he opened his eyes and realized that the Terrigan was standing right in front of him, stretching his wings and hissing loudly. And the Terrigan then roared a fiery flame of fire, which the Ice Snake created an ice shield, just like the Ivory Trip Trap, but his was not strong enough and it melted. So guys, what happens next is really creepy. So you know that the Terrigan can fly, right? So he floated up to the surface, and guess what? The Ice Snake, since it can also float, it doesn't even have legs. You see, it's really creepy actually. It cannot it floats and cannot walk or anything like that. So what happened is the Ice Snake has a special ice ability. He can thaw the ground, make it so freezing, and it shatters just the tiniest bit and makes the tiniest crack for the Ice Snake to slip through. And then with the Ice Snake takes his block of ice and he weaves and he fills in this hole which he had left from escaping. Now obviously the Terrigan obviously had a defense ritual against this. So what the Terrigan did next was he thawed the ground a bit. You know how if you buy some kind of ice cream, or that's not a good example, if you buy a pizza from a frozen pizza, you obviously need to let it thaw before you can actually cook it, or else it'll leave water behind and make it really gooey. Okay, so now let's go ahead and wait for Crystal to answer her question before we can continue any of the story. Well, I can continue a little bit. She still hasn't answered it yet. Okay, so what happened next is shocking. So the ground actually melted the teeniest bit for the Terrigan to claw through and climb through. Okay, guys, so we did 6,531 damage. Terrigan is the most awesome pet in my opinion. That's just me. I'm not saying that he's the best pet of all time and like that. It's just me that thinks Terrigan is the best pet of all time. If you're disincluding epics, of course. Okay. Now let's go ahead and use Volcanon. It's a good spell to use, I think. So these are equal to each other. Let's enter that. Now let's go ahead and continue the story. So, would you guys like to hear the Ivory Trip Trap versus the Trip Trap? Now that's too boring. Let's listen to the Terrigan versus Ice Snake. Now the Ice Snake was starting to get a little panicky. So once he was underground, he started to rush through the tunnels, but not before Terrigan swooped down and roared another blast of fire. And the ice snake managed to duck down just in time before the frill just burned the teeniest bit, and he yelped in pain. And so what the ice snake did next is he shot like 500 snowballs all at once under the Terrigan. Because his blast a spell, the Terrigan lost his fire momentarily, and that gave some time for the ice snake to escape. Now, while the ice snake was escaping, something happened which made his entire life change. He actually managed to touch the ground. He actually managed to float low enough to touch the ground. Can you believe that? Ice snakes rarely ever touch the ground. That's true. When I tried to give it a hug, it floated up instead of trying to float down. But now it's floating down. And then something horrifying happened. The ice snake began to lose its, it couldn't fly anymore. He was just stuck on the ground, and he couldn't even move. And he realized Terrigan was doing that. Terrigan had his eyes glowing red, and his wings were outstretched, and his frill was really puffed up, his frill was flared, and his ears were really outward stretched, and his tail was lashing furiously, and he was controlling the ice snake. And Terrigans can control, but Terrigans can only control ice and plant element pets, only pets that are weaker against fire. Okay guys, let's go ahead and now wait for Crystal to answer the question. Then we'll continue the story some other question time. Woohoo, 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 woohoo. Oh yeah, oh yeah. 18, 20, no. Okay guys, let's keep waiting. Also, we can continue the story since, okay, we got to max. We did 6,960 damage. Whoa, that's so much. 7,000 damage almost. Woohoo. Guys, Terrigan won by just 115 health. Phew. So guys, this in the battle at the end, let's go ahead and just keep continuing it after we answer our questions. So, okay, it's Crystal versus Terrigan. Let's just go ahead and use Volcanon. And let's see. Wait, 15/8 is a sum of 4 actions. So let's see, if I put a 7 over here and I put an 8 over there, and that's done. Okay, now we can continue our story. So what happened next is that the ice snake had to freeze himself up for the Terrigan to stop controlling him, because the warm and the cold don't mix together that well. And then if he froze himself, he couldn't move himself, so he had to break into the ice cube. And the Terrigan immediately tried to wrap his hold around the ice snake, but the ice snake tried to float. He floated upward and disappeared again into the upper roof. And this time he came running into the glass fire. Now the glass fire is a ice snake's best friend. He had this tiny mysterious orb stuck in it, and the orb seemed to had this magnetic field around it that helped protect the animal around it. And glass orb could protect, for some reason, the ice snake more, and they could communicate in a ghostly way. And the Squally and the glass orb had really best friends, but the ice snake still is best friends with the glass orb. The glass fire orb. Now guys, let's go ahead and continue this story later, because what happened next was I came in between them and stopped them from battling. I know this is very disappointing. I know I shouldn't have interrupted the battle. It was very entertaining, but not they could have killed each other. No. What happened if they killed each other? That'd be horrible. Okay guys, now let's go ahead and solve this question. Also guys, wait, I would like to also tell you some interesting tall tales that I've heard from my fish named, hey, what's the fish's name? See, I have so many pets, I don't know the name. Okay, so it's not a fish, it's Gennady. So I as the Prodigy Queen, have a lot of pets, and it's hard, and it's in really honor if I can remember their name, and the pet will be so disgruntled if I just went up to him and said, hey Gennady, because he obviously thinks I don't know his name, but wink wink, I do, hee hee. It's really creepy if you just sneak up on a person and yell boo, especially at this time, it's Halloween. Okay guys, I'm done solving that question, so I'm gonna save the rest of the story for some other time. So Crystal doesn't use Falling Star Smash. She did 5,173 damage. Let's see how much damage we do. Hopefully we can kill Crystal, and we did not. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. So we did a good amount of damage, but still not enough to kill Crystal. And I should be happy that she only has a little bit of health left, and I have 7,307 health left, but I still really wanted to kill Crystal. Yeah. Let's go ahead and now use Falling Star Smash. And let's go ahead and solve this question. It's done. It's done. It's done. Alright, let's go ahead and wait on the players. So I guess I can continue a story now. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue it. So what happened next is I interrupted the battle, and I kept those two, and they learned friendship, and it done. And it had a very happy ending, which I'm happy about, because I do not want pets getting into fights. I want this to be a happy, peaceful environment in my pet yard, or my pet team. Okay, so Crystal is gone, and we won the battle. We won the battle. We won the battle. Woo-hoo! So it's obviously proven that there will be a draw in the battle between these two, but the TripTrop is more powerful. Alright guys, that's all for today. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And also, what else I would like to share with you is the location of the pump cube. Now, as you can see, the pump cube has came back over here. Oh, come on. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and hide this pump cube again because it hid from me. No. It came back from where it was hiding. So I'm going to put it back where it was supposed to be hidden, and then I can show you the hiding spot. Alright guys, so I hid the pump cube back where it was supposed to be. So guys, now try guessing where it is. Pause the video right here and guess where it is. Okay guys, so have you guessed? Also, Crystal's back. Hi Crystal. Bye Crystal. Okay, so she's gonna stay for a bit. Crystal, you may go ahead and play some piano if you know how to play. So looks like Crystal would like to enjoy a nice melody on the piano. So the piano has its very own mode where it will play for you instead of you playing it. So that's the best part. So now the location is the pump cube is in this section of the house, this section over here. And if you look closely near the bedside table and near the fish tank, you will see that the pump cube is hidden right over here. Did you see that? It's right here. Woohoo! You guys see that? It's so cool, right? Oh, I accidentally almost moved the fish tank. So we have to safely get this out, and the pump cube will rest by the candles until the next Prodigy video comes. Alright guys, once again, that is all for today. That Ivory Trip Trap awesome battle versus the normal TripTrop. And once again, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell once again, so you will not miss out on any awesome Prodigy videos. So I said to hit the like button 2 times, and what I meant by that is party time. It's party time. It's Friday. Actually, yeah, let's go. So let's go. It's not Friday, but let's go ahead and just have a party anyway. I'm gonna make a Friday night party since this I'm making this video on Friday night, but it'll be Saturday when this video will be posted. So I'm going to go ahead and do a Friday night dance party. So let's go ahead and go to our dance section, and I'm going to pick a clear section for me to dance. I'm going to take off my buddy, and I will dance on the stage. So I'm going to go to my house again, and I'm going to clamber onto the stage. And Crystal, you may take any spot you desire. Looks like she has chosen any spot, whatever, it doesn't matter. Well, let's go ahead and now get straight into the partying. So she will pick her dance move. I will pick mine. I'm gonna pick the dab move because I think that's the most best. And the best part is that they'll keep dancing by themselves. And okay, I like that move. It's cool. Oh, it looks cool, but okay, so let's go ahead and get straight to the face expressions and stuff. It's Friday night, the best day of the week. It's Friday night, the best day of the week. You wake up fresh-faced in the morning. No school, no work, no assignments. Oh yeah, get into the vibe, Crystal. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 no frowning allowed. It's the best day of the week. Friday night, the best day of the week. Why is it the best day of the week? Because you can wake up to your heart's content, sleep and sleep. Oh yeah. You can have more time to spend with your friends. You can do whatever you desire to your content. Alright guys, that's all for today. Once again, let's go ahead and end this video now. Woohoo! So long guys. I really enjoy you watching my videos, and we can have this awesome party next time. Oh, Crystal. Wait, hey, Crystal. Actually, Crystal has an invitation. Crystal, I'll meet you at your house. Okay, guys. So this pump cube is about to pounce on top of me, and I better go. Bye, guys. So long. Ah, it's attacking me.